CBS News has learned that President Trump is expected to visit Saudi Arabia in May on his first international trip of his second term in office. As for today, the president is set to sign more executive orders, and we're looking ahead to what the president has called Liberation Day in America. So that's when new reciprocal tariffs will go into effect against nations that have levied taxes on U.S. imports. We're also expecting to see secondary tariffs against countries that import Venezuelan oil, tariffs against Mexican and Canadian goods that were postponed. But the full reach of the tariffs is still uncertain.
The tariffs will be far more generous than those countries were to us, meaning they will be kinder than those countries were to the United States of America over the decades. They ripped us off like no country's ever been ripped off in history. And we're going to be much nicer than they were to us, but it's substantial money for the country.
New CBS polling shows many Americans have heightened concerns over the president's economic policies and priorities. 64% of people surveyed said the president is not focused enough on lowering prices, while 55% say he's focused too much on tariffs. A majority of respondents also said they expect the tariffs will raise prices in the short term, with just under half saying it will have long-term implications. Let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman. So, Willie, as we mentioned, the CBS News polling shows Americans are becoming increasingly wary about the tariffs, the impacts they could have on the prices that we pay. Over the last few months, they've been on, they've been off, they've been scaled back, they've been postponed. What can we expect Wednesday?
Hey there, Lindsay. That's right. Really, there's a lot at stake here with these tariffs, and President Trump will make that announcement from the Rose Garden on Wednesday. It'll be his first Rose Garden event in this second term. That really shows you the significance of this announcement, having officials there, including those cabinet officials as well. So essentially what this is, the White House says, is reciprocal tariffs, as you mentioned perfectly, on those countries who have tariffs on American imports. That would also include close U.S. allies and trading partners. The president essentially leaving some wiggle room, though. He noted that they wouldn't be as tough as the countries that put tariffs on U.S. goods. On top of that, you have auto tariffs that are set to go into place, some 25% on foreign-made automobiles. And the president over the weekend said it would perhaps be a good thing if the car companies, those foreign automakers, raised their prices, because that would essentially mean that U.S. companies would benefit from those raised prices on on foreign automobiles, I should say. But a big day, the president calling it Liberation Day. The press secretary just moments ago spoke to reporters here. She repeated that phrase that the president has labeled the day where you will see all of these tariffs. So the White House full steam ahead, despite that concern from consumers about how this could potentially affect prices, Lindsay.
And really, the White House broke norms by firing a federal prosecutor in California and reportedly others. What more are you learning?
Yeah, that's right. We learned about this over the weekend. These reported firings coming directly from the White House, that these two federal prosecutors, one based in California and one based in Tennessee, were dismissed out of the blue, according to the New York Times, and given no reason for the dismissal other than that it was on behalf of the President of the United States. And now we do have a statement from Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, who said that this was in coordination with the Department of Justice, and that they were dismissed. They have dismissed, rather, more than 50 U.S. attorneys and deputies in the past few weeks. As she then goes on to say the American people deserve a judicial branch full of honest arbiters of the law who want to protect democracy, not subvert it. This really shows how the White House is wielding its power here. That's typically not done. That's typically done with the Department of Justice being independent, but the White House going after these prosecutors and not necessarily giving a reason for their firing. But it really is an unprecedented move for the White House to take this route, though, Lindsay.
Willie, President Trump said Sunday he's not joking about trying to serve a third term. He told NBC News in a phone interview, quote, "There are methods which you can do it." How much should we make of this?
Yeah, I remember Schoolhouse Rock and how it would talk about a bill, how it's made. Also, I remember learning very well about how the Constitution, how an amendment, how you can change the Constitution with an amendment. It's a complicated process, and that's what it would require here, because the 22nd Amendment bars the president from serving a third term in office. Now, to get this across the finish line, so to speak, the president's already behind, because it would take a few years to do this. And you see on your screen there what the 22nd Amendment says: no person shall be elected to the office of president more than twice. I'll note that amending the Constitution not only takes a significant buy-in from Congress, but it would also take a significant buy-in from the states as well, Lindsay. So a tall order, a tall task, but the president saying that he's not joking about serving a third term, though.
All right, Willie Inman, thank you.